I read As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. This novel is centered around the lives of the Bunyan family and their actions and perception of life after their mother Addie passes away. Addie's dying wish was to be buried in her hometown, so her four sons, Cash, Darrell, Joe, and Vardaman, her only daughter Dewey Dell, and her husband Ance set out to fulfill her wish. They constantly endure natural disasters, physical setbacks, personal dilemmas, and people's judgment. The narrator shifts from chapter to chapter, allowing the reader to experience the journey through different characters' perspectives. By the end of the novel, the characters have all been distinctly affected by this time period of their lives, the most obvious change expressed through Darrell, who began the journey as a calm, steady narrator but concluded the novel by being shipped away to an insane asylum. The first quote is by Ance, Addie's husband, who is very lazy and conservative, which is clearly exemplified through his diction. He attempts to cover up his laziness and reluctance to go on the trip to Addie's hometown by claiming that God created humans to remain idle. Through this benevolent diction, he implies that he is only trying to follow God's plan as an excuse to prolong the trip. This is also reflected through his syntax in that he constantly uses sentence fragments broken up by commas to create the effect of rambling and incoherence between each thought. The next quote is by Vardaman, the youngest Bunyan, and whenever he narrates, the diction is always very convoluted and delirious. In this scene, Addie's coffin has fallen into a raging river, and everyone is attempting to rescue her, but it is very difficult. The use of ace into tin provides the reader a clear illustration of the frenzy and confusion occurring in this scene, as well as the confusion in Vardaman's life after his mother's death. The syntax mainly employed by Vardaman is run-on sentences that have no clear end or beginning with random capitalizations, all of this again contributing to the convolution. The repetitive use of the word "and" also adds to the frantic and intense scene. The final quote is by Darrell, the second oldest Bunyan boy. At the beginning of the novel, Darrell was the typical narrator, contrasting greatly with the rest of his family. He employed traditional prose and syntactical structure that would be expected in a standard narrative. However, as the book progressed and his mental stability began to deteriorate, his diction and syntax varied to reflect this personal development. This excerpt is the last time we hear from Darrell. We see how he switches from third to first to third-person point of view, contributing to the insanity he has fallen into. The repetition of the word "yes" also adds to the insane and urgent tone. The syntax employed varies from simple, periodic, and loose sentences. The inability to convey his thoughts in a routine manner provides the reader with a window into his now crazy and disjointed life. The main themes are the morality of humans, the omnipresence of God, society's attempts to conform everyone to a set standard, and everything depends on perspective. The significance of the first theme is that once someone dies, it engulfs humans, and that they must figure out a way to cope, shown through Addie's death and the actions of her family. The second theme's significance is that throughout the novel, the characters reference God and use him as either an excuse or a motive to continue upon their journey. It shows how God will always be a part of their lives and will always be watching, for better or for worse. The significance of the next theme is that as the Bunyans are traveling, many people judge them for their perseverance and unique situation, as well as the smell emanating from Addie's corpse. However, this does not affect the family, and they continue along their journey despite society's grievances. And the significance of the final theme is that each chapter in the novel is narrated by a different person in the novel, sometimes a Bunyan and sometimes another member of society. The multiple views serve to exemplify the fact that no situation is perceived in only one way, because everyone has a different take on the event. And that's it. Thank you for listening.